On August the 11th, 2009, a significant incident occurred on the Big Dipper roller coaster at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, one of the United Kingdom's most famous amusement parks. The accident involved two roller coaster trains colliding, which left dozens of riders injured. The crash raised serious concerns about the safety protocols and maintenance procedures followed by amusement parks in the UK. But how did it come to this? What led to the moment when two roller coaster trains collided, sending shockwaves through the park and leaving 21 people injured? Let's talk about it. This is Blackpool's forgotten disaster, the Big Dipper crash of 2009. Blackpool Pleasure Beach, located on the western coast of England in Blackpool, Lancashire, is one of the oldest and most beloved amusement parks in the UK. Established in 1896 by A.W.G. Bean and John Outhwaite, the park has been a cornerstone of British seaside culture, attracting millions of visitors over the decades. The park is known for its massive collection of classic rides, ranging from traditional wooden roller coasters to modern steel attractions. The Pleasure Beach is largely praised and holds a special place in the hearts of both tourists and locals alike. Over the years, Blackpool Pleasure Beach has expanded significantly, incorporating new rides and attractions to maintain its reputation as a premier destination for thrill seekers around the globe. By 2009, the park was home to some of the most iconic rides in the UK, including the Big One, Infusion, and the Grand National. Safety and maintenance have always been paramount for such a large-scale operation, yet accidents, though rare, have occurred over its long history. One of these accidents was on one of the most famous rides in the park, this being the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is one of the oldest rides in Blackpool Pleasure Beach and holds a significant historical value. Designed by John A. Miller and constructed in 1923, the ride is a classic wooden roller coaster, emblematic of early 20th century amusement park engineering. Wooden roller coasters are known for their unique, rattling experience and vintage aesthetic, which many thrill seekers find more exciting than modern, smoother steel coasters. The Big Dipper's track extends over 3,300 feet, featuring a series of drops and sharp turns. While its top speed of around 40 miles per hour may not seem that impressive by today's standards, the ride's age and traditional structure provides a distinctive experience. Maintenance for such classic rides is particularly challenging, as they require frequent inspections to ensure that wooden structures and mechanical systems remain in safe working condition. By 2009, the Big Dipper was still a major draw for park visitors, and throughout its history had a very strong safety record, having only one incident prior when in the 1970s, a fire broke out, damaging part of the wooden structure. The blaze was contained by fire crews before spreading to other areas of the Pleasure Beach, but repairs were needed to restore the ride. The Big Dipper was rebuilt and reinforced, allowing it to continue operating. This brings us to August the 11th, 2009, and at approximately 7:30 PM, Blackpool Pleasure Beach experienced a significant incident on the Big Dipper. The train was loaded with eager passengers looking forward to ride. Their safety restraints were checked and everything was given the okay, so the train set off and began making its way around the track without issue. As the train headed round the track, it suddenly stalled, coming to a stop on one of the hills due to the anti-rollback mechanism. This would have been quite the jolt for the riders on board, who would have been confused and more than likely suffering with whiplash. However, the worst was yet to come. Now, the Big Dipper operates with two trains at the same time, and without knowing the other one had come to a stop on the track, the ride operator sent another train round. Before staff could react, the second train collided with the stationary train from behind. The impact occurred about 20 feet above ground, causing immediate distress among passengers. Emergency services, including fire crews and paramedics, arrived quickly. Passengers were carefully removed using stretchers and spinal boards, with many visibly shaken. Out of the 21 people injured, reports highlighted that some suffered with whiplash, bruising, broken bones, and more serious trauma that required hospitalisation. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic, with passengers in shock and staff working quickly to assist. Injuries varied in severity, and while many passengers walked away with minor injuries, several required on-site treatment before taking to hospital. Paramedics attended to neck and back pain complaints. Those affected included people of all ages, and many were seriously distressed by the crash. The event quickly became a focal point for the park's safety discussions, as the sight of injured guests being carried away from the wooden structure made headlines and raised immediate concern among parkgoers and the wider public. After everyone had been evacuated, the ride was shut down and an investigation was launched. The investigation into the Big Dipper accident was thorough, involving the park's management, independent safety experts, and regulatory bodies such as the Health and Safety Executive, which oversees workplace safety in the UK. The primary focus was to determine whether the crash resulted from human error, mechanical failure, or inadequate safety protocols. Prelim findings pointed to operational issues that may have contributed to the crash. Ride operators were responsible for coordinating the dispatch and spacing of trains to avoid such accidents. The inquiry looked into whether proper communication procedures were followed between control rooms and ride operators, and whether the automated safety systems, which should prevent trains from coming too close to each other, functioned as intended. Another line of investigation delved into the ride's mechanical systems. The Big Dipper's braking system, track sensors, and fail-safes were scrutinised to determine if any malfunction had occurred that could have contributed to the crash. Wooden roller coasters require constant monitoring due to the wear and tear their structures endure, and any lapses in maintenance could have catastrophic consequences. The Health and Safety Executive's report, published after several months, found that a combination of human and technical factors had led to the incident. It was determined that a communication lapse between operators resulted in the second train being dispatched too soon after the first train stopped on track. The park faced criticism for not ensuring that all safety protocols were stringently followed and for failing to implement more advanced automated systems that could have prevented the collision. The investigation also noted that while mechanical components like brakes and sensors met minimum operational standards, there was room for improvement to ensure higher safety margins. Consequently, the Health and Safety Executive recommended that Blackpool Pleasure Beach update its training procedures for operators, enhance communication protocols, and invest in improved ride safety technologies. Although it was unclear what caused the stall, some speculated an object got caught under the wheel of the train. Then, issues with the block brakes became apparent, block brakes being a system designed to manage and separate trains to prevent collisions. Reports suggested that the block brake mechanism did not engage as intended, allowing a second train to continue its course and crash into a stationary one. In the aftermath of the crash, Blackpool Pleasure Beach undertook significant measures to restore public trust and ensure the continued safety of its rides. The park temporarily shut down the Big Dipper for a comprehensive overhaul, which included the installation of new braking systems and more sophisticated sensor technology. Staff training programs were expanded to emphasise quick decision-making and effective communication, aimed at preventing similar incidents in the future. The park management also increased the frequency of ride inspections, particularly for its older wooden coasters. Although the incident was put down to human error, no one was criminally charged following the crash, and there was no public record indicating formal charges or legal proceedings against any individual or the park. I can imagine the people on board the trains probably received some kind of payout. Thankfully, everyone would go on to make a full recovery. As always, this is not an AI channel, I do everything myself, and if you appreciate my work, subscribe, and if you want to go the extra step to support the channel, maybe consider becoming a member. UK viewers, have you ever been to the Pleasure Beach, and how was your experience? Let me know what you think about this case in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.